Are you a fan of the book nerd Diaries? Do you wish you had more of it in your life? Then consider this your formal invitation to become a subscriber to our Patreon page at patreon.com/bndpod, where for as little as $2 a month, you can get special perks like ad-free episodes a full day before anyone else, 2 bonus episodes a month, and episode transcripts, as well as a shout-out at the top of each episode. Our independently created programming depends largely on the contributions of kind listeners like you to keep going, as we currently receive hardly any funding from outside sponsors, so if you'd have the financial means to do so, your monthly contribution can enable us to keep growing and bringing you new content for a long time to come. Sound interesting to you? Then please head on over again to patreon.com/bndpod and become a subscriber today. See you there, book nerds! Hello all, and welcome to a special edition of the Book Nerd Hall of Fame, the typically Patreon-exclusive show where I, your humble book nerd, offer you a brief audio essay honoring one of my favorite books of all time. Before I get into talking about today's Book Nerd Hall of Fame inductee, I just wanted to take a moment to say thank you so much, first of all to Julie and Katie, aka one of the best sisters a podcaster could ask for being our amazing supporters on Patreon. You're the best. Also, thank you very much to everyone who has so kindly taken the time to rate or review our show on Apple Podcasts, or simply told someone in their lives about us, as these are the best ways to help us reach more ears. Big or small, your acts of support are what help keep us going, and are deeply appreciated. As my special Halloween gift to you, I've decided to forgo my usual programming this time around to honor one of the most absolutely spellbinding books ever written. Without further ado, dear listeners, let's get on with our show. The circus arrives without warning. Thus, author Erin Morgenstern invites her readers into the spellbinding world of her fantasy masterpiece, The Night Circus. From these very first words, you quite literally are invited into the story itself, standing among a crowd in the chill fall air as you anticipate entry into one of the most magical places ever created, Le Cirque du Rêve, or the Circus of Dreams, which only opens after dark. I promise, dear listeners, that once you buy your ticket, you will never want to leave. The Night Circus tells the story of Celia and Marco, 2 young magicians' apprentices who unknowingly find themselves being trained by their mentors to participate in a deadly duel for magical supremacy, where only one of them can survive. Their battlefield is Le Cirque du Rêve, a circus unlike any other. Instead of 3 rings under a single tent as is traditional, it's a sprawling labyrinth of black and white tents, each one containing a different awe-inspiring attraction never seen before, and made even more incredible by being infused with Celia and Marco's magic, which they use to try and one-up each other as they create bigger and more wondrous tents for guests to enjoy. Through this back and forth, the 2 young star-crossed magicians start to fall deeply in love with each other, and try to end the deadly feud that their mentors have perpetuated for so long. But little do they know where their romance will lead, or how their actions will impact everyone whose lives have been touched by the world they've created within their miraculous circus. As someone with deeply fond memories of going to the circus when I was younger, and who has always loved the chaotically colorful imagery associated with the circus, this book instantly caught my eye before I ever read it. But from that very first sentence I read at the beginning of this essay, I was rendered absolutely breathless by this gorgeous world that Erin Morgenstern builds with her words, and that feeling has stayed with me ever since. First published in September of 2011, according to Goodreads, The Night Circus is rather contemporary of literature compared to the other books I've mentioned here on the Book Nerd Hall of Fame, but please believe me when I say that this book truly deserves to be considered a classic, with the best of them, nonetheless. It's whimsical without ever being childish, deep without ever being dry, and approachable at a level where everyone can enjoy it, whether you're an avid reader like me or not. This book touches on some primal desire we all have on some level to run away from the stresses of everyday life and join the circus. But in this case, you get a running ticket to one of the most magical shows on earth, without ever having to leave your house. Besides being approachable, this book touches on just about every other genre of fiction you could think of, with fantasy, romance, and mystery all rolled up into one delicately woven tapestry. Even if you're not strictly a fantasy fan like myself, you're bound to enjoy at least one aspect of this book, and while it's not strictly a Halloween book in the sense that it's not overly scary, though I will warn you, suicide and death do tragically occur. Please see show notes for warnings. Some key scenes in the book actually happen on Halloween, and fall imagery is so vivid and permeated throughout the story that you can't help but want to curl up under a blanket with the warm apple cider or cocoa while you read it. For being a truly delightful autumn treat of a story, and one of my personal favorite novels in recent years of any genre, it is my great honor to induct The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern into the Book Nerd Hall of Fame. With that, dearest listeners, we have made our way to the end of our very special episode for today. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I did putting it together for you. I hope you all have a wonderfully spooky Halloween, and I'll see you again soon for another episode of the Book Nerd Diaries. The Book Nerd Diaries and its associated shows are written, edited, researched, and hosted by me, Amber Wilchin. Thank you to Kevin MacLeod for the use of our theme song, The Show Must Be Go, and Sincerely Media on Unsplash via Anchor for our wonderful cover art. If you would like to connect with us online, you can follow us on Instagram or Twitter at BNDpod, Facebook at Book Nerd Diaries, or via our website at bndpod.wordpress.com. We also have a Ko-fi page at ko-fi.com/bndpod, where for a small donation you can pass along a special shout-out for someone you love, or some good news you'd like to share with the world, and I'll read it up for you during the next episode. If you would like to send any comments, questions, or ideas for future episodes my way, please feel free to drop me an email anytime at bndpod@gmail.com. I'd love to hear from you. Until next time, everyone, please take care of yourselves and each other, and don't forget to keep on reading.
Did you know that there are over 1 million podcasts out there and over 30 million episodes? So why should you listen to Pod Jerky? Well, we have a little bit of something for everyone. We discuss topics such as fertility, pet peeves, Netflix reviews, music, conspiracy theories, and everything in between. We will entertain you, make you laugh, and make you cry. Our amazing guests are also sure to put a smile on your face. Tune in every week to Pod Jerky on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and wherever podcasts can be found. Pod Jerky, bringing you original flavor.
Hey everyone, I am Nick.
And I'm Russ.
And if you're looking for a podcast about current events that's well-informed, highly educated, and safe to share with your whole family,
That's not us.
nope, it's not. But here at the Nick and Russ Don't Know Anything podcast, we have an opinion about everything and don't mind sharing it.
That we do. New episodes every Wednesday and Saturday. Check us out at nickandruss.com.
And find us on Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and many more, including YouTube. Thank you, and I love you all. Mwah!